Okay, welcome to some Week 10 Sunday Slate. If you're watching this, thank you very much. We appreciate it. If you have any feedback before we start, you let us know your lineups. Boom, yeah, I'm not going to keep you too long. Let's jump right into it. Lots of exciting games this Sunday, I think. It's going to be a fun one. I know I'll be jumping back and forth on Red Zone there and switching between the games I like. I'm just going to hop right into it for me before I let you take over here, Tarin. But my quarterback this week, I'm going with Kyler Murray. That's going to be the shootout. It's also the top two QBs from last week. Josh Allen and Kyler Murray are going to shoot it out. The thing that boggled my mind looking at the results of last week was how Josh Allen and Kyler Murray both had like 39 and 41 or 42 fantasy points. And then the next closest, 17 or something, 17 or 18. Mm-hmm. Yeah, DraftKings Live. In quarterback performance, yeah.
You're wrong because Russ put up 29.
Really? But was it that? Am I that wrong? Hold on.
You're pretty wrong.
We're taking up
33 on
week 9. Oh, my thing didn't load. Okay, well, fuck, I'm stupid.
I was gonna say I had Mahomes stacks and he didn't do that bad.
Oh, well, yeah. Guess what? I hooped that one. So, anyways, I'm going with Kyler Murray, top performer of the week. We'll let that one slide. No one said I'm smart. But yeah, what do you got for QB?
One thing I'll note on this slate just before we get too far in is I think that Kyler Murray.
Oh, you know what? Before I let you jump in, it's because it was running backs.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense to me.
Oh, I just jumped the gun on my notes.
Yeah, CMC and Dalvin Cook were.
Yeah, and the next closest was 17.
Ahead of everybody.
Yeah, it was that one. Fuck, I don't know why I got so excited there. Yeah, 17 for McKissick was the next closest.
Yeah. But one thing about this Sunday slate is watch how you're stacking. There's only 5 10 a.m. games. Sorry, I'm Pacific, but 5 1 p.m. Eastern games and 6 afternoon games. So you can actually jump your stacks all into the afternoon and utilize late swapping if your morning guys kind of suck. Make sure you're watching to what you can swap other positions onto to be a little more unique if you still want to cash, but you know you can't win. But it is one of those slates that's rare where you have more games in the afternoon than in the morning. But that game that you spoke about, Kyler Murray and Josh Allen, I expect those to be the 2 highest owned quarterbacks this week. So I kind of looked elsewhere to just try to give you guys a bit more than that. I love that game. I would stack both those quarterbacks and probably will in at least one of my lineups because they usually play about 4. But my stack's actually against your Houston Texans. I like Mayfield or Keenum. If Keenum's in, I don't mind him either. I actually don't think that's much of a downgrade. We've seen Keenum be around for a while. Mayfield's waiting to get his COVID test results, but 29th ranked pass D there in Houston. They are kind of a pass funnel. They don't actually, they're not really a pass funnel. They're bad against everything, let's be honest. But I think this will be a bit of a back and forth matchup. I like that Deshaun can keep the games close even when you shouldn't. And Jake Luton put up 26 points last week against Houston. So Mayfield, Keenum, fire him up in that game and kind of ride with it. But I'll jump over to running back. I played a bit of a lower owned, I think will be lower owned guy in Leonard Fournette this week versus Carolina for Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay got demolished last week by the Saints defense. Like, it was not even close. That was the hardest game to watch. And to watch Brady pout on the sideline was a little bit of a bonus for some of us non-Brady lovers. But I think Fournette's going to get there. I think they're going to start to run him as the main back. He's had 10 points or more in those last 3 games. Carolina gives up a lot of work to pass-catching running backs, and that's been his role there in Tampa. And at some point, I think he's going to jump into the lead role in this backfield and kind of run all over in the game. So what do you think at running back? Is there a game you're targeting with this?
Okay, this is where I meant to go with my point. I jumped the gun on my notes. I'm going with Christian McCaffrey, CMC, exact opposite of you.
Wait. He probably isn't going to play. But
why?
There's a chance. He hurt his shoulder at the end of last game. They're projecting he might be out.
Well, fuck. I was so pumped because I had him last week and I was like, holy shit, this, because I was a little bit worried because he had like a ankle injury or broken ankle or whatever it was. So I was like, man, he could like take a bad hit and be out. I was pumped. Yeah, I had Dalvin Cook and McCaffrey, and it just, those two doubled every other running back's points. No one else got over 20. They both got 40. So that's what I was going with. One TD in the
Well,
return there.
watch the
So
news though. He might
yeah, I
still
mean,
play.
yeah. I guess you're right, but it's good to have that knowledge. I would have still picked them unless the day of I'm getting notifications from
Yeah.
DK.
A
But
good cheap option to note is if he's not playing, Mike Davis is still going to get that role he's been getting. So McCaffrey had 11 receptions or 10 receptions last week. So if Mike Davis is your filler, you're saving 4K and you're getting the lead back that's going to get all that dump off work. So
okay, well, yeah, that's some great insight. I'm just going to move off of running back because I don't provide any value there. Going into receiver though, I'm kind of going off of what you're saying there about your running back. I'm going with Shark. I mean, I watched him and Luton put up still pretty good numbers against Houston, although Houston is not good up. So, I mean, it doesn't say much. But they're playing Green Bay. They could get demolished. They will probably get demolished. But I could still see, like, Luton didn't play that badly. He was still throwing some deep balls. I mean, if they play okay, I could still see Shark getting 2 TDs and putting up, I don't know, 200 yards still. Maybe. That'd be nice. So I'm going with him. I think just because it'll be Aaron Rodgers will be pressuring them to make a lot of plays that they'll probably have to risk it a bit more. And if it pays off, it pays off. What are you thinking for wide receiver?
I'm jumping to the LA Chargers. I've played this guy in a good percentage of my lineups the last 2 weeks, and I really like it against Miami, Mike Williams. Most people are going to go to Keenan Allen. He is a target hog there in LA. But Herbert's been playing well, and we noticed last week with Miami that the guy that beat them wasn't DeAndre Hopkins. It was actually Christian Kirk, and he was running the deep ball. And Mike Williams tends to be that guy in LA, or you can go to like Guyton or something if you want to get real cheap in LA. But yeah, he's one of the secondary receivers, 7 and 8 targets his last 2. He's played 2 good games back to back for his price. He is getting up there in price where you need 15 points, but he has been putting up about 15 or more the last 2 weeks. And if you can get that one deep ball touchdown, it's going to be great, and that'll kind of win it for you with him at that price. And he probably won't go owned. He hasn't went owned the last few weeks. People don't like to pay $5,000 for a guy who's not the best player on the team. So watch that. But I'll jump right over to tight end, going back to New York Giant, actually, and Evan Ingram against Philadelphia. So he had a pretty good game 2 weeks ago against Philly. He's been getting a lot of the work in that. Like, I think he's up to 10 targets the last 3 games, or I think it's 10, 10, and 9. So he's getting a ton of looks, and it's a lot of short dump-off stuff, but in full PPR and on DraftKings, that's perfect. It's going to get you those points you want. He's also been seeing a lot of the red zone work too, and he's doing some like rush plays and end-around stuff. So I just think his usage is really high in this game, and it's a game everybody's going to kind of want to avoid, I would think, on the slate. But do you have a tight end in mind? Paying up, paying down?
Yeah, probably paying up a little bit more. Higbee. Again, I think this one it'll be on the higher scoring side. We saw Russell Wilson them get beat up by the Bills there. Kind of surprised, I think, everyone. I expect that one to hopefully be a little bit on the over side of everything. He gets us 15 points. We're happy. I was really hoping I was going to be able to choose Hayden Hurst again because, as we said in the last video, he's the safety net. You just pay for him and you get your points. You know what you're getting. So that always works so good. I just want to point out, though, that I sent you some lineups and Ingram was in them, and I was told to, hey, maybe you should do this. And I took him out, and then I got an absolute junk replacement. So I should always listen to myself, and I should just go with the flow, which is how everyone always talks. And I broke my own rules. But moving on to some defense special teams here. I'm going Eagles. Why? I don't really know.
The Giants. So
yeah, they're playing the Giants, but I mean, both teams are not that great. I'm just hoping they can get 10 points. I mean, they're on the probably more expensive side in terms of defenses, but we don't really know pricing yet. But I feel like it could be a safer play.
Yeah. Well, if we want to jump into defenses and talk about our pick last week, boy, did we look stupid. Paying that price for Pittsburgh ended up being a flop, and that just shows the variance of defense. I never just pick one defense between lineups. I just variate it because you can have a 17-point game from the worst defense, and you could have a 8-point game and the team wins by 20. So, it really hinges, and just kind of try to variate your lineups with multiple defenses if you can. But I like the Saints coming off that Tampa Bay game. I watched a good portion of that game, and they tore up that O-line, and Justin's face says it all. But they had super high pressure rate on Brady. They weren't letting him get anything and not really letting him throw too much. And then you got Mullins on the other end, so prone to giveaways, and they're only $3K coming off that game. So that's actually pretty cheap for defense that's playing at that level.
Are the prices out?
Yeah, they are. I had them written for all the guys. I just didn't say them. But yeah, it should be a good slate. It's going to be an interesting one. I'm going to do probably a lineup with a morning stack and an afternoon stack, and then just kind of look at who you can late swap on in that afternoon set of games. There's so many games late that you could be winning in the morning and losing by, 2:00 in the afternoon. So.
Yeah. Nope. That wraps up our Sunday one. If there's something like that people want us adding in this or talking about, let us know, because we're so small, we're open to any sort of feedback. Let us know. Thursday one seems to be doing good. If you like the Thursday one, you're probably not watching this one, but maybe you will be. And we thank you. And we also have a Monday Showdown one. So our Thursday, Monday ones are both Showdowns. If you're a big Showdown fan, let us know. And yeah, we'll keep kind of doing it. So yeah, thanks. And we'll see you in the next video.